Hey guys, What the 5 here with an icon ratings reaction video. So, the ratings for all the new icons have been released. So that is Zidane, Pirlo, Drogba, Wright, Koeman, Carlos Alberto, Garrincha, Dalglish, Guardiola, Sanchez, Rush, Barnes, Zambrotta and Essien. So we've got quite a few players to go over. So first up we've got Zidane. So, it says, Zinedine Zidane. One of the most talented players of all time, Zinedine Zidane's world-class skill and technique made football look unnaturally easy. His performances on the biggest stage, 2 goals in the 1998 FIFA World Cup final, and one of the greatest volleys of all time in the 2002 UEFA Champions League final, gave Zizou legendary status for both France and Real Madrid. And he's got a 91 baby card, a 96 prime card, and a 94 kind of older card. I've only ever watched one Zidane game and he got sent off in it. I watched the World Cup final. That was the only Zidane game I ever watched. And I was 6. So, the only thing I really knew Zidane for was the headbutt. I never really knew him as a good player. But, a 96 would put him at a higher rating than Cruyff, who is 95, I do believe. And I put to you the question, was Zidane better than Cruyff? Or is this purely based on the fact he's a new icon and they want him to be a high rating? Surely Zidane was not that good. And if he is 96 good, Cruyff surely has to go up to a 97. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say. But a 96 card, I'm not going to be able to afford any of these cards. I'll tell you that right now. So in the midfield, this card is going to be mental. Physically brilliant on all of his cards, really. Maybe not. 81 physical is good enough. Brilliant passing on all of them. Good pace on all of them. Brilliant dribbling on all of them. Shooting is very good on all of them as well. He's 6'1", so he's going to be tall enough to win headers in the midfield. Just overall, he is going to be a very, very good card. And he'll give a lot of icons. It'll a lot of difficulty for people picking their teams. Moving on to Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola is a 90 card, an 87 and an 85. Pep Guardiola is 5'11", so it's, again, good enough height for a midfielder. I'd say anything below that isn't good enough, but Pep Guardiola, an icon as a player and now as a manager. Pep Guardiola embodied Barcelona's famous La Masia philosophy, making a rapid transition from academy to first team, where he cemented his position by the age of just 20. Part of fellow icon Johan Cruyff's famous Dream Team that won a La Liga and European Cup double in 1991-92, Guardiola went on to win 16 trophies with the Catalan club, playing a pivotal role in the midfield for almost a decade. Now I've got another comparison for this one. A 90 rated prime card, or highest rated card, would put him at the same as Frank Lampard. And at his prime, was Guardiola as good as Frank Lampard in his prime? I'd probably say no. But, again, it's up to EA. It's a new icon. They probably wanted to rate it highly. The next one, the third, is Ronald Koeman. Now, this is a card that looks very, very, very good. So, Ronald Koeman. A defender with a goal-scoring record to envy most of these playing in front of him. Ronald Koeman began his career in the Eredivisie with Groningen and Ajax before netting 51 times to lead PSV to 3 consecutive league titles and the European Cup. He bettered their feat at Barcelona with 4 consecutive La Liga trophies to go alongside a second European Cup, reaching double figures for goals in all 6 seasons at the club from centre-back, which is mental. All of these cards, the 88, the 91 and the 85, all look brilliant. And I think with the in-game tactics, moving this man into a midfield role would be class. Just as centre mid, box to box, he would be very, very good. And I think he's 5'11" as well. So if you want to play him at centre back, he might be a bit too short for that role. But midfield, again, he's brilliant as a box to box player. He's got brilliant defending, brilliant shooting on all of his cards. Physically, he's very good. Passing is good on all of them. Dribbling's good enough for all of them as well. A card I'd look very excited to use. I think I could probably afford the 85 one at some point, but maybe these two will be a bit too far out. Next player is Michael Essien. a dynamic midfielder whose playing style earned him the nickname of the Bison. Michael Essien began his career in Ligue 1 before becoming Chelsea's record transfer in 2005. Over 9 seasons at Stamford Bridge, the Ghanaian scored a number of vital goals to help his team to 2 Premier League titles, 6 domestic cups and a UEFA Champions League, before enjoying spells at European giants Real Madrid and AC Milan. But this card looks very good. The 85 card here looks like a card you can get in your team right at the beginning of the year. You could probably use him till maybe Christmas, but these stats look good enough for a start game card. His prime card should be a monster in the midfield. Should be, by looking at his stats, but his height, he could get... There's taller players in the midfield that could bully him on headers. Physically, he should be able to outstrengthen, but on headers, he might not be the best. Essien's 5'10". I think Essien's 5'10". So, like players like Paul Pogba, 6'2", should be able to out-head him easily without even needing to jump. But a very good card nonetheless. As a Chelsea fan, I'll be excited to use him. Hopefully I will have the chance to use him this year. But we move on to another player I've never heard of this man. See, I've never really heard of Gianluca Zambrotta. I would assume he played in the Italian league, which I have never watched. I've never properly watched. I've watched highlights and stuff, but I've never properly watched the Italian league, and especially not back in 2006 when I was only 6. But Gianluca Zambrotta, one of Italian football's greatest fullbacks, Gianluca Zambrotta formed a key part on the formidable Italy defence that conceded just 2 goals on their way to winning the 2006 FIFA World Cup. Zambrotta's performance during the tournament was so influential that they earned him a place in the 2006 FIFA World Cup All-Star squad. Looking at his cards though, they look very, very, very good. Wingbacks, they've never really been icon wingbacks. I can't think of one that has been super good, apart from maybe Zanetti, who is 90 something. But these ones look very good. They should be very affordable. So the 2 right back ones look very, very good. Great pace, good defending on this one, and good physical. This one, not so much, but his prime 89 card looks very good, very usable. There's not too many good right backs on FIFA, especially last year, until really team of the season time. That's when all the good right backs came in. So this is a very usable card. Looking at his height, I think he was 5'11", great height, good pace, good defending, good physical. Very usable right back card for most teams. Kenny Dalglish. Widely regarded as one of Liverpool's and Celtic's greatest players of all time, Kenny Dalglish was part of Liverpool's squad that enjoyed an astonishing level of dominance both domestically and in Europe. In his 13 years as a Red, King Kenny won 8 leagues and 3 European titles alongside a stack of domestic cups, making himself an Anfield legend in the process. Now, 2 things to say about this card. This card here, the prime card, the 92, looks phenomenal, but all of his cards could be let down by this 71 or 70 to 73 physical. They could let this card down because it's going to be stamina, it's going to be strength that will let this card down, and unfortunately I think it is that bad. But yeah, not much more to say about Dalglish. Another player I've heard of, never watched him play. John Barnes, another player I've heard of but never watched him play. John Barnes, blessed with incredible speed and trickery, John Barnes played a key role for a Watford team that finished 2nd in the league and FA Cup runners-up. Before transferring to Liverpool, Barnes terrorised opposition defences through his time at Anfield, helping his team to 2 league titles and 2 FA Cups, with a performance in the 1988-89 seeing his name as both PFA Players Player of the Year and Footballers Writers Footballer of the Year. Now, one thing I've heard about Barnes is that he was one of the best players back in his day, so maybe his rating should be higher. But saying that, the stats on all of his cards look incredible. Look at these cards, mid-80s for all of his stats, apart from defending, is going to be brilliant. Trickery should kind of maybe 4-star skills, maybe 5-star skills. Great pace on all of them. Well, great pace on the two winger ones. The 89 card looks brilliant as well. 90 pace, 91 dribbling, 87 shooting with 85 physical and 85 passing. A card I want to use this card this year. It looks incredible. But yeah, very excited to use these cards. They look very good. Ian Wright. Ian Wright was a relative latecomer to professional football, but that didn't stop him from racking up the goals for both Crystal Palace and Arsenal, where he picked up the Golden Boot with 29 goals in his debut season for the North Londoners. His consistent goal-scoring talents helped lead the Gunners to a league and cup double in 1998, confirming his status as a club icon. Now, I watched the Vuj and Poet podcast with Ian Wright on a couple of days ago, and it was brilliant, so I recommend watching that. But something I know about Ian Wright is that he was very good with both his left and right foot. So that should indicate a 4 or 5-star weak foot for him. Adding that to his prime card would be brilliant. But his other two cards, I have to say, there might be, well, especially this 85 card, there might be base gold cards that are just as good as this one. There's been a Leak Martial Striker 85 card that looks brilliant. So it's going to give this card a run for its money. But this prime card and the prime moments card potentially could be very, very good cards. Ian Rush. A relatively slow start to his life at Liverpool, Ian Rush's second season for the Reds saw him score 30 goals. After which point the goals kept flowing for the Welshman. His clinical finishing earned him a Division 1 and European Golden Boot awards in 1983-84, as part of the Liverpool squad that won 5 league titles, 3 FA Cups and a Champions League during his time at Anfield. Ian Rush is another player I've heard of. I've never seen him play, but again, 2 things for this card. All of his cards look very good. Physical as well doesn't let him down. Pace is brilliant. Shooting is very good on all of them. Dribbling is good on all of them. And number 2, he gets a link with Gareth Bale. So, if you want Gareth Bale in your Premier League teams, in your La Liga team, he's already in the fucking La Liga. If you want to get Gareth Bale into any of your teams, he gets a link with Rush. So, there, simple as. Rush is probably going to be expensive based on those 2 things. That his card's incredible, and he gets a link with Gareth Bale. Hugo Sanchez is another player I've never really heard of, but his cards look brilliant again. All of them look very good as well. Another player, though, who could be let down by the physical. 70 and 70 on 2 of them, 75 on 1 of them. But his other stats look class. On all of his cards, other stats look class. 92 pace, 93 shooting, 90 dribbling. Surely that's going to outweigh the 75 physical. But again, as I said, as a player I've never really heard of before. But Hugo Sanchez, after rising through the ranks at UNAM while studying for a degree in dentistry, Hugo Sanchez won the first league title in 1977, just days before his 19th birthday. After 5 seasons in Mexico, Sanchez spent 4 years at Atletico Madrid before making the move across city to Real. With Los Blancos, the Mexican striker amassed over 200 goals, along with 5 consecutive La Liga titles, 3 domestic cups, and a UEFA Cup, before returning to Mexico for a spell at Club America. Yeah, I've never heard of this guy. He was probably playing, I would assume, during the 80s. Yeah. Won his first title in 1977, so he was probably playing through the 80s, early 90s, which I have no real understanding or no real knowledge of football from then. I know a couple of players, but yeah, I know a couple of players from the English leagues, you could say, but none really from other leagues. Garrincha. So, I think I remember this name from watching one of the Brazil Best World Cup Squads programs on like Sky Sports. They did like Best Brazil World Cup Squads from the 60s and stuff like that. But Garrincha joined Botafogo in 1953 and quickly made a name for himself, scoring a hat-trick on his debut against Bonsesco. After developing a reputation for his flair and incredible dribbling activity, he resisted numerous attempts from major European clubs to sign him, remaining with Botafogo for 13 seasons and playing a starring role for the Brazilian national team that won back-to-back World Cups in 1958 and 1962. yeah, so brilliant World Cup squads from 1950s and 60s was the right player I was thinking of. But incredibly, Brazil never lost a match with Garrincha and fellow icon Pelé in the lineup. Yeah, with a player that good, you could probably assume you wouldn't lose the match. But these cards look insane. They look absolutely fucking brilliant. But I'm going to say now, they're probably all outside of the price range. They're probably all going to cost like 750k to, well, probably 1 million plus for a lot of them. And looking at his developing a reputation for his flair and incredible dribbling, probably going to have 5-star skills, and he's probably going to be a player I can probably only use in draft, basically. That's Didier Drogba. This is a card I want to get on my road to glory that I'm doing this year, so be excited for that one. The 91 card has 90 physical, 90 pace, and 92 shooting. It is going to be a mental card. One I'm going to be very excited to get. I'm going to put all my coins into trying to get this Drogba card. But for those of you who don't know about Didier Drogba, we will go over the quick summary. So Didier Drogba made a breakthrough in 2003-04 with Marseille, where he added goal-scoring ability to his phenomenal physique to net 32 times in 55 matches and win Ligue 1 Player of the Year. The Ivorian moved to Chelsea in 2004, where his goals helped the club to 4 Premier League titles, 4 FA Cups, and 3 League Cups, cementing his status as a blue icon with a deciding penalty to win Chelsea's first ever Champions League title. Must get card for my road to glory. Can't wait. Very excited to use this card. May take me a while to get to him, but I'm very excited. Carlos Alberto Torres. Carlos Alberto Torres came to prominence at Fluminense, where he showcased his skills as a technical, gifted defender, known for his ball skills as well as his defensive capabilities. After 3 years at Fluminense, he joined Santos, during which he captained Brazil to a World Cup glory in 1970, and scored one of the greatest goals in the history of the tournament in the final. After spending 14 years in Brazil, Carlos Alberto linked up with Pelé at New York Cosmos, helping them to 4 league championships in his 4 years at the club. So there's another player that never really left Brazil. But he's got a 93 rated right back, a 90 rated right back, and an 87 rated centre back. And again here, prominence at Fluminense, where he showcased his skills as a technically gifted defender and known for his ball skills as well as defensive capabilities. Could mean he has 4 or 5 star skills. 4 or 5 star skills on a centre back card is mental. All these cards look very good stats wise. Centre back, I don't know his height. Maybe I should have a look at that. But maybe he might not be able to be the best at centre back. Again, could be in-game tactics moved into the midfield, maybe even to a winger. But this is the penultimate card. Moving on to the final card, another player I know about, Andrea Pirlo. An elegant, deep-lying playmaker known for his incredible vision and passing, Pirlo was an integral part of AC Milan's midfield that won the UEFA Champions League in 2003 and 2007. His domestic performances also transferred to the international stage, where he helped Italy to win the 2006 FIFA World Cup, picking up a Man of the Match award in the final. Pirlo ended his career in Serie A with 4 consecutive Serie A triumphs before finishing his career with a move to the MLS. Now, looking at the card stats, Pirlo's the type of player where his card stats could let him down, because he wasn't the quickest, he wasn't the most physical, and he wasn't the best at defending. But these cards look very good, purely based on the 91 dribbling, 80 shooting, and 95 passing. 73 pace is good enough, and 71 defending is also good enough. But you've got to ask yourself, is he an endgame card? And very similar to what I said with Eto'o, who had 90 physical, remove that from Eto'o, give him 67 physical, height and physicality is going to let Pirlo down in the midfield. So he might not be that usable. It's a very up in the air one with Pirlo. But that is it. That is the ratings for all of the players, or all of the new icons on FIFA 20. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please like, subscribe, and hopefully they release the first 10 for the top 100 players tonight. If not, this will be it for today. Like, subscribe, and peace.